staff of the National Public Health Institute commend you for the level of commitment, for the efforts to go through this rigorous and intense intermediate FETP program. We want to recognize the efforts from our training partner AFINET and for the continuous support and investment we want to take this time also to say thanks to the USCDC for the investment and support to us. And I saw a quote on the wall saying, "I'm a field epidemiologist, I run towards diseases." So bear that in mind, that you can train to fight diseases in the field and keep the population safe and free from public health threats. We, as a health system, will count on you from time to time within your routine work to help us to be on the rope and watch out for epidemic-prone diseases or every other disease and conditions that plague our health system, so that it helps us to detect them in a timely manner and mount a comprehensive, robust, and adequate response to these diseases and other threats. On that note, let me once again say thank you, congratulations, and before I close, I will be remiss if I do not recognize the effort of our internal and field team as well. So in addition to the support from the CDC and AFINET, I will say thanks to our program coordinator, our program director, Dr. Jito, for his commitment towards the program and the collaboration that has been strengthened over a period of time between us and AFINET to ensure that the FETP program reflects the need of the popular workforce in Liberia. I would also want to thank our training team, Sis Rosaline and Siata, for the efforts, the commitment in ensuring that you organize the trainings at all times along with our African counterparts, and to ensure that the quality of the training remains the same throughout from cohort 1 to cohort 6 for the intermediate programs, and from cohort 1 to cohort 13 for the frontline training program. Thank you so much for your involvement and support, and rest assured that the FETP will continue and that the quality will continue to remain the same, or if possible improve from time to time. Your graduation is at a critical time where, as a National Public Health Institute, we are looking towards institutionalization of the FETP program to ensure that as a country, bearing in mind the benefits that this program has brought to our health system, can have some level of ownership, support this program, and ensure that it is delivered in a more sustainable manner, so that it doesn't break after a certain period of time. We don't know what happens to the training program. So as we work towards bridging the gap in the population towards more field epidemiologists or epidemiologists training in the general population, we want to commend you for your commitment. I'm told that even to get in the program, it takes series of assessments that sometimes along the way, not many persons can withstand the rigor and the intensity of first the preparation that enter into the program, and then once you are accepted into the program, the rigorous nature of the training program. So for the fact that you've gone through this program for a period of time, and I can see you all smartly dressed in your FETP jackets and your white shirts, and I show that again we are putting on some of the best to help mount our surveillance system and ensure that we are prepared at all times to fight diseases. So thank you, congratulations.
together, it will be from our own program director of the Liberia FETP Intermediate Training Program and director of the Division of Infectious Disease and Epidemiology, Dr. Ralph Chita. Daddy, you are welcome.
So let me say good morning again to the wonderful graduates in the room and to all of the partners and guests. So let me just take you quickly through the overview of the field epidemiology, and specifically going to cohort 6 intermediate and FETP program. That is country only, is our own program and designed and developed by US CDC, as most of you in the room may know. And of course, this program is tailored to the needs of the country, especially the health system. So it's not just a training program, but it is actually a competence-based program through service. It builds country public health capacity. The field-based training is actually, because we see it's not just a training, so since it's in fact it's a field, bulk of our work we do during the training program is actually field work. So on the field, activity accounts for 75%, and the interaction in the classroom is basically 25%. Of course, we don't leave our students on their own. They are obviously guided by our efficient mentors. So what's the objective of the program? As we all may be aware, is to actually build the capacity, providing epidemiological services, of course, to national and sub-national health authorities. And one, we want to in the process to strengthen the capacity of its national and sub-national levels. So at the intermediate level, our trainee targets are basically on-field surveillance officer. That is those that are on the front line, and they are actually frontline graduates. So to be part of it, you might have been on front line, you might have completed our frontline level, or be a male supervisor at the county level, and of course, at the end of the program, you are served a certification for graduation. And of course, this structure has our mentor, our faculty as well. What's the skill of the intermediate? At the end of the day, with this capacity actually built for them, they are able to carry on interpretation and analysis of surveillance data, conduct outbreak investigation and response, and epidemiological study designs also use a skill set they actually get for the program, which enable them to conduct survey. Of course, they also have skills in data entry and analysis in Excel and public health communication. They are not just taught given the skills to just conduct these analyses, but having conclude or finalize these analyses, we must be able to communicate these findings. And of course, they can training and mentorship is actually guaranteed for that. So the skills are consolidated by practice after graduation.
Congratulations, welcome to the family of epidemiologists. Welcome to the class. Thank you, Dr. Chito, for the presentation. So we now move forward with presentation from our graduating class. There's a group project that was done. We have two members of the intermediate class presenting. Now,
on behalf of Cohort 6, we are presenting our class project entitled Awareness, Acceptance, and Uptake of HPV Vaccines in caregivers of adolescent girls in Monserrado County, Liberia, 2022. And these are the content of our presentation for today. Human papillomavirus is the most commonly transmitted infection associated with cervical cancer. It is estimated that about 80% of people are infected with HPV at least once in a lifetime or unknowingly to them. Globally, the prevalence of human papillomavirus is 11%. However, this number varies from region to region. In sub-Saharan Africa, the prevalence of HPV is 24%, while in West Africa, the prevalence of HPV is 19.6%. Despite this global prevalence, HPV is prevented. Vaccinating children aged 9 years to 14 years is an effective way to prevent HPV vaccine. This strategy has been adopted globally to ensure the eradication of cervical cancer by the year 2030. In Liberia, this strategy was adopted in 2019, where HPV vaccination was introduced in our routine services for 2 doses for adolescent girls, with an established target of 80%. However, since the introduction of HPV vaccine in Liberia, this target has not been met. In 2021, the overall vaccination coverage of HPV vaccine in Liberia was 23%. Therefore, we conducted this assessment to estimate the level of HPV vaccine awareness and acceptance among caregivers in Monserrado County. We also conducted this assessment to estimate the level of HPV vaccine uptake among adolescent girls and to identify factors associated with vaccine uptake and awareness. We describe vaccine uptake using 4 variables. And also, we describe vaccine acceptance using the following variables. Caregivers who allowed their girl child to take the vaccine, caregivers who were willing to pay for HPV vaccine, and caregivers who encouraged them to take the vaccine and also willing to take HPV vaccine were considered for acceptance. For uptake, we consider it at 2 levels, at the populational level and at the household level. So a household with a child with an adolescent girl that has taken HPV was considered as uptake, and at the population level, the proportion of girls enrolled in the study that took HPV vaccine was also considered for uptake. We conducted our study in Monserrado County that has an estimated population of 1.6 million. Monserrado holds the capital city of Liberia and has 7 health districts. It is divided into 22 zones and has 3,350 clusters referred to as intermediate areas. In Monserrado County, there are 389 health facilities. However, only 167 of those health facilities provide routine immunization services. Monserrado has the lowest HPV vaccine coverage among the 15 counties of Liberia. Therefore, we conducted an analytical cross-sectional study with an estimated sample size of 660 using a single independent proportion formula with a proportion of 40% 2 doses of HPV vaccine, and also accounted for a non-response rate of 10%. Our eligibility criteria included caregivers who have adolescent girls aged 9 to 14 years and lived in Monserrado County. These caregivers were recruited in a multi-stage sampling process. For stage 1, we randomly selected 30 enumerated areas from a sampling frame of 3,300 using the probability proportioning to size. In every EA, we also systematically selected 22 households from a total frame of, on average, 80 to 300 households. And at the household level, we interviewed the caregiver who had girl child aged 9 to 14 years. If the household have more than 1 caregiver, we balloted and selected eligible caregivers. We collected data using structured questionnaire divided into 4 parts, namely social demographics, knowledge of HPV vaccine acceptance and uptake. Prior to data collection, we conducted community entry, we obtained informed consent, and performed a face-to-face interview with our eligible household head. At the end of the interview, we distributed informational material on HPV. The photo on the right shows a member of our cohort conducting an interview at an eligible household office. Our data was analyzed in 3 different ways. First, we performed a univariate analysis where we describe demographic awareness, acceptance, and uptake using frequency and proportion. We also conducted a bivariate analysis to identify factors associated with vaccine uptake and acceptance. Variables that were associated were modeled using a logistic regression analysis to identify predictor or predictor value. All of our results were presented in tables, charts, and figures. At the level of data analysis, we now develop a maximum obtainable score for each variable. For HPV acceptance, we consider 3 or 4 different variables. The caregiver who was willing to allow their girl child to take the vaccine, plus 2 of any of those variables were considered as acceptance and score at 3. While for the population and individual level, we consider the number of girls that have received HPV vaccine in the household for uptake, and also the proportion of all of the girls who enrolled in our study admitted to have received HPV vaccine for the population level. Ethically, we obtained our approval from the University of Liberia Research Group, and we showed that all of our interviews were conducted privately and we maintain the confidentiality of our respondents. Now, these are our results.
So now for our results. 91.2% of our caregivers in the study were female, and 80.1% of them had formal education. The median age of our respondents were 36 years, with an interquarter ratio of 21 to 43 years. And the age group 21 to 39 years accounted for 62% of the respondents. 93.2% of our respondents are living in community for more than 2 years, and 51.8% were living with their spouse. 83.9% and 50.7% were Christians and household head. So of the adolescent girls, 9 to 15 years in our study, 23% of them were 9 years in 19. 23% of them were 9 years in 1991, but 2% of them were in school at the time of the study. 67.2% of our caregivers were the parents of our adolescent girls in the study. HPV vaccine awareness among our caregivers was at 5%. The title, which is the 5% of those caregivers aware of HPV, said that they knew that the vaccine was available. 80% of them said that they knew that the vaccine was available as per facility, and less than 60% of them said that they knew the target age group for the vaccine, which was 9 to 18 years old. Less than 40% of them said that they got their information from the health facility. Although awareness amongst our caregivers was low, it was remarkable that 86.5% of our caregivers were willing to accept the HPV vaccine. And this was because 90.3% of them were willing to allow their grandchild to take the vaccine, while 87.9% themselves were willing to take the vaccine. if included in the target age group. Now for HPV vaccine uptake in Ontario, it's disappointing that only 2.1% had taken the vaccine at the household level, and only 2.2% had taken the vaccine at the grandchild level. Of the reasons given for this new uptake, lack of awareness accounted for 67.5% of the caregivers said that they did not know of the vaccine, lack of awareness of the vaccine. And other reasons included the unavailability of the vaccine and long distance from their facility. Based on these results, our multi-view logistic regression analysis was done, and results show that caregivers who were living with a spouse were 2 times more likely to be aware of HPV vaccine, while the same group were 2.6 times more likely to accept HPV vaccine. Caregivers whose child has completed routine immunization and caregivers who were household heads were 1.6 times and 15.3 times more likely to accept the vaccine, the HPV vaccine. Of caregivers who were aware of HPV vaccine, they were 19.4 times more likely to have children who have taken the HPV vaccine. During our study, there were several suggestions from caregivers on improving HPV vaccine uptake. And of those, the suggestion to conduct more public awareness accounted for 25.9%. And other suggestions included to make the vaccine free and available, and also include women in the target age group. From these results, we conclude that HPV vaccine awareness among the caregivers was poor, and this led to low uptake of the HPV vaccine. However, more than about 9 out of 10 of our caregivers accepted the HPV vaccine through their willingness to vaccinate their child, or pay for the HPV vaccine, or even receive the vaccine themselves if led in the target age group. Interestingly, there was an association between awareness and HPV vaccine uptake. Caregivers who were aware of HPV vaccine were 19.4 times more likely to have a grandchild that had taken HPV vaccine. We therefore recommend to the Ministry of Health that they conduct HPV awareness and sensitization at health facilities, schools, and social religious gatherings. We also want the Ministry of Health to ensure that strategies to improve HPV vaccine delivery and access are implemented. To our caregivers of children, we recommend that they ensure that every child receives HPV vaccine before they reach 14 years. We will now acknowledge and appreciate the Ministry of Health and the National Public Health Institute for hosting this training. Our supervisors at our various work areas, we believe that you have joined us online. We would like to appreciate you for giving us the time out to attend this training. Our mentors who have given us their invaluable time and to improve our skills, we highly appreciate you. And to the LFETP and AFRINET family for implementing this training, you are highly appreciated. Now to our support system, our backbone, the reason for which we are here, our United States Center for Disease Control. You have, I cannot begin to tell you how much you have impacted not just our careers here, but our country. This training has really helped us. So thank you, and we really, really hope that your support will continue as we still need more people to go through this training in our country. picture on the left shows a team led by Ben, and on the right is me there with my team in various communities in Monserrado County during the data collection process of this study. And here is some members of our cohort in Maryland County that went there to investigate pertussis outbreak. Other outbreaks investigated during the time of our training included measles outbreak investigation in Monserrado and Grand Bassa County. We also investigated chemical spillage in Rankin County, and an outbreak of Lassa fever was investigated in Bone County. Now I present to you our cohort 6 of the LFETP. I can assure you that the knowledge we have today, when we first enter that class, we didn't have up to 10% of that knowledge. So, I now present to you a team of equipped to transform Liberia's public health system intermediate cohort 6 of the LFETP.
More hands for the graduating class.
It is a great pleasure and a privilege to be part of today's important occasion, the 6th graduation ceremony for Liberia FETP Intermediate. The Liberia FETP Intermediate is a shining example, not only for the West Africa sub-region, but also for Africa. Indeed, I have had a privilege and opportunity to be part of FETP Intermediate launch and implementation in other countries, 3 other countries. And it is worthy of note that reference has always been made to the Liberia FETP Intermediate because of your successful implementation. And because of that, a number of programs are yearning to learn from Liberia FETP Intermediate. I'd like to mention that the success that has been chalked has been made possible by the immense support and partnership from the US CDC. So I'd like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to the US CDC for their relentless efforts in supporting and building food epidemiology capacity in Liberia and Africa as a whole. We would also like to extend our profound gratitude to the Liberia Ministry of Health, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, for creating the enabling environment for the training and for the collaboration. Finally, to the graduates, I'd like to congratulate you all for going through this training. Today, we are gathered here because 9 months ago, you made a choice to be part of this training. I'm sure along the line, you might have gotten some edge to quit, but you didn't do that. You held on to the last end. And for this reason, we are gathered here for your graduation. Once again, congratulations to all of you. And to add that to whom much is given, much is required. A lot of investment has been made in your training, and the expectation is that you also give a lot out. And as you graduate, which is the beginning of the journey, I would like to entreat all of you to do the work that you do in a better way, particularly in relation to surveillance, outbreak investigation and response, and scientific communication. We do not have any doubt in our mind that you will live up to expectation, and therefore we want to take the opportunity to wish you all the best in your endeavors as you come out as disease detectives for Liberia, for West Africa, for Africa, and for the world at large. On this note, I want to wish you all a successful graduation ceremony and congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Deputy Director of Intel, Afternet partner, and all the other partners in the room, and the graduates. I want to say good morning. Good morning. And big congratulations to you. You are joining a very special group of people, a very distinguished group of people with long history. People that have done incredible things. They've helped identify diseases for the first time. They've helped respond to massive outbreaks. They have helped shape public health. You are the go-to group when there is a problem anywhere. I know we're talking a lot about infectious diseases, but sometimes it could be some other public health problems. There is something we don't understand what it is in some remote village somewhere. The first group that gets sent in are the FETP graduates. Why? Because you have the skill set. You can ask the tough questions and you can figure out what's going on, and they start working with the local health communities so they can mitigate the impact of the disease and prevent it from spreading. That is a special thing. And I know that if we can quantify how many lives have been saved because of FETP and the work that FETP does, it will overwhelm us all because it's incredible. I think one example that I think about is the Ebola case that made it to Lagos, Nigeria, 2016. You know, everyone in the world was so afraid because Nigeria, Lagos especially, is such a big city. And people were worried, oh, this is getting out of control, we will not be able to do anything about it anymore. Do you all know how Nigeria managed to control Ebola and prevent it from becoming a big problem? It was the FETP graduates that handled that case. They did contact tracing, they followed their training, did it by the book. They were able to manage to find all the contacts. They were able to put them in isolation, and that's how Ebola did not become a big outbreak in West Africa during that time, because of FETP graduates. So, if they can do it in a city like Lagos, that tells you that the skill set that you have can allow you to do just anything. There's nothing that's really impossible, and I hope you don't stop believing that. There might be some few setbacks here and there, but don't let that define who you are. Keep going back to your training, and don't stop asking questions. When something does not make sense, ask questions. This does not make sense. Go back and investigate. Call your supervisors. Talk to your residents and talk to each other and say, hey, I'm still dealing with this situation and it does not make sense to me. What do you think is going on? Until you can get to a place where you feel like, okay, now it's beginning to make sense to me. But I am looking forward to learning about the work that you will do. I hope when I come back to Liberia next time, I'll talk to some of you and you can tell me great stories about the work that you have done already and how it is transforming communities and transforming health services in Liberia. So congratulations again, and again, I'm so excited about the work that you will do in the coming days. So thank you.
Congratulations to all of you for the amazing and tremendous work. My superior has already addressed you, and it will be difficult for me to offer remarks that will be more advanced or more significant than what he's already provided. In fact, he's still in the building, so how can I try to overtake him? How can I try to overtake him when he's still in the building? But I do congratulate you. We thank you for your hard work, your commitment to Liberia, and the work that will come beyond it. The work is not finished. The hard work will just be starting, but we know that you're up to the task. So thank you.
Round 4, Ben S. Kindness.
No problem. Well, that's it.
Followed by Patrick, Stephanie.
Down.
Now from MOH Factor Statistics, we call from Senior Duo.
Salah, Cynthia? It's okay.
Thank you. Jackie, Jackson Paul. And now our dynamic president.
Second.
Dr. Peter, can you please join us? We have our own presenter giving us the results. Madam Kumu pass away. Our National Surveillance Officer George. Now for all the way from County, Emmanuel Cooper.
Yeah.
Now we are moving all the way to Bomi County and we'll call on Victor Ole.
Alaska one.
Jefferson Mewa. Sambo Bolivia. And our chief presenter.
It's an honor to have you all here. And as I walked through this door earlier and saw our pictures being displayed, my mind wandered back to our first year class, where we met a team of influential educators. And I can't help but remember that African proverb, it takes a village to to raise a child. It does take a village to raise a child. And that village in this context is a combination of people, you, who have come to make this day a success. And even though this village comes from all sizes and people, each of you have contributed that silver to our unique linings, and we are very grateful. At this time, we would like to appreciate our backbone, Dr. Rachel, for all of your thanks for supporting our country and the world at large. Without you, this training wouldn't have been possible. Thanks, Dr. Rachel. And I would now take the spotlight off us, place it on our professional mentors who may not be walking up here today as graduates, but they can obviously take that deep sense of pride in who we have become today. Yes. VP, please join me. There's a house that keeps this program running, and that is the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. Dr. Julius Gedini, please come. Wow. On behalf of the 6th cohort of the Intermediate Field Epidemiology Training Program, we would extend our heartiest appreciation for being the house of this program and for also accepting that I participate. Thank you, Dr. Gedini. Please convey our message to the teacher. We have a team of professional mentors. Dr. Mame and her team. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Dr. Mame would say, you see that lion, you can kill it. That 12-story building, you can jump down. Dr. Mame and Pamuade, please come. On behalf of our team, we are very grateful for all you have instilled in us from January 30th till this date. Thanks to your team of professional mentors, Dr. Vows, competent. So they are impacting our capacity in Liberia, building our capacity. And that is why we decided we have the director of the Field Epidemiology Training Program who coordinates all of the efforts in person of Dr. Ralph Chito. Please come and accept this token of appreciation.
Continue with your good work.
And our organizer, the Division of Training and Capacity Building at Enfield. Maros, please come. We love and appreciate all that you do. The prompt emails we received and all of your efforts in collaboration with Brenda. Thanks for everything. My care analytic it has been about 7 long months of aspiration, perspiration, of course motivation, yes. We always motivate each other. And it is said that knowledge not used is abused. And I'm very sure you will not. And you cannot abuse this knowledge. As field epidemiologists, we are disease detectives. We are to detect, investigate, and report information for action. We are to report information for action. And with all of what I experienced, I'm very sure we will do just that. This is not a good time, but I see you later, as we will obviously meet in our professional spaces. But until then, congratulations. Thank you.